Elon Musk and the Oompa Loompas are not authorities. Fake Book Zuck and his new attractive character persona that wants to be liked and accepted by the tech crowd and at court, the court of King Donald, is not an authority. The bloviating opinion projector, Mark Andreessen, is not an authority in what they're talking about. In fact, they don't know what they're talking about. And now they're playing with people who play with knives. It's going to be interesting, isn't it? Does Jeff Bezos know what he's talking about? Have you been to a Whole Foods recently? I was at one yesterday in Evanston. It's not the best Whole Foods, but it's not bad. There's a good one in the city of Chicago. Big one. I wonder if anybody there knows anything about food anymore. I go to the guy in the produce department and I said, "Where's the basil?" I'm standing in the produce department and he just looked blankly at me. He was busy processing under a time clock, probably. It's Amazon now. And he said, "It's over there." I'm like, "Why would you put it over there?" Well, what was over there? He's like, "Well, it's on the other side. You don't put it in the produce anymore? You don't put basil in the produce area anymore?" No, it's over there, I think. I don't know if he knows what basil is. People in grocery stores should know what they're selling. That makes them an authority. People who run grocery stores should understand food, and they should understand consumer environments and people who shop for food who maybe like food or care about food. They're there because they want to cook something. This is supposed to be the premier grocery store in the United States of America. Premier. Well, it was. We used to call it Whole Paycheck. And then they brought in the private label and it wasn't Whole Paycheck anymore. And people still called it Whole Paycheck. And I'm like, have you been there recently? It's not Whole Paycheck anymore. It's cheaper than the local stores. Jewel, Kroger stores, Kroger owned, it all consolidated. Mariano's, it's like this is a good grocery store. Not anymore. Amazon doesn't know how to run a grocery store because they are not an authority in food. They don't know anything about it. And they don't care. They think people just want to get in and out fast. That's not true. Have you ever been in a Whole Foods? There's people wandering around with glasses of wine. I'm like, why would you do that? I just want to get in and get out myself. I want them to curate the food product and give me stuff that's decent. They can't even do that anymore. You know where he sent me? The dried basil. Why would I be buying dried basil if I'm standing in the produce department? So I go to another guy and he's like, I don't know. I don't know where it is. How can you not know where it is? You work here. You don't know your own product. They used to. And then I go to the customer service desk and I'm like, okay, I got to use the right word because they don't know what basil is or how to find it. So I said, where's the fresh basil? Are you out? And he said, it's by the tomatoes. Not the canned ones, the fresh ones. There's different kinds of tomatoes. He knew that. He was at the customer service desk, so he must have had the advanced training. And he's probably being watched by cameras, or the technology people that run Amazon imprinted a chip in his brain to track his movements so it goes faster. They don't get the business they're in. They don't understand it at all. They don't even understand e-commerce anymore. That's how bad it is. Have you bought something on Amazon recently and tried to return it? Authority means being an authority. The Oompa Loompas and Elon Musk don't know anything about the federal bureaucracy, and now they're running it. Look what's going on. Wait till Trump figures it out. He's not going down for them. I partner with people as an entrepreneur. I don't even think these people are really entrepreneurs. Zuck, fake book Zuck, bloviating Andreessen, they're bankers. I don't know what the hell they're doing. It doesn't make any sense. They can't finish the product. Do you see what are they doing? Trump's starting to figure it out. He's slow, but he's figuring it out. In the 70s, the Trump saw an opportunity in Manhattan. The city's burning to the ground. And it's a pretty corrupt political establishment, and they were, deep in it. You got to do that if you're a real estate developer, because you got to get the permits through and you got to negotiate a good deal with the city. It's complicated developing real estate. I saw a little bit of this in Chicago, city of Chicago. I did a gut rehab of a house. I didn't want to do a gut rehab of a house. When I found out it didn't have a foundation, we had to do that. It's very complex. And I hired somebody who knew 95% of what was necessary. He wasn't an authority. He was a flipper, home flipper. He almost bankrupted me, but we went through it. We made it. I had a friend who gave me some advice. He said, "You're not still writing checks to these people, are you?" He was a real estate developer, owned a sailboat I raced on. Bruce, he knew his stuff. And I said, "Yes." And he said, Larry. He said, "They'll put a lien on your house if you don't pay them. And they know that. They can put a lien on my house? Yeah. That's a law in the city of Chicago. You can put a lien on my house." He said, "What do I do?" He said, "Make them sign." I think it was called a quitclaim deed or something. I don't remember. I didn't know what I was doing. We made money. We came out of it. Barely. Lived in a studio apartment in the Gold Coast for over a year with a cat and my wife. A studio apartment. I'm not a kid at this point. I saw an opportunity in a cool neighborhood in Chicago, and I'm like, I got to get in. I couldn't find authorities because I didn't want to pay. I'm figuring it out. And I'm racing sailboats 4 days a week and dealing with a very complex business that I built up when I was in my 20s. And then was now running because I thought, oh, I can have my cool lifestyle that I had in my 20s again. No. Test it in the fire. Can you make payroll, Larry? Can you get these idiots out of your company? Not the employees, the manufacturers we were working for. These big corporations. You don't own me, buddy. I don't work for you. They didn't know that. Work with authorities. Trump's built that building in New York. They negotiated a deal with the city, and they got massive tax breaks. Politically, that was not ideal at the time for the politicians. And I watched the Netflix documentary. I haven't finished it. I just watched the beginning, but I'm like, oh, I get Trump finally. Finally. I'm worried about it. I'm not worried about anything. It's all fine. I don't need to worry about the world. I just need to take care of myself and the people around me and the people I care about in the market. Nobody else. Everybody else, goodbye. No interest in you, except as a friction plate to help me be more successful. What did Trump do? He won. Why? Because he sat there and he watched. And he's like, they think there's rules. I could see it in his mind. I watched him watching on the documentary. And I'm like, these people think there's rules. I know there's no rules. The rule is get it done. You think that this tech entrepreneurs, founder technology mode people are going to get it done? There's no way. They don't even know how to run their tech companies. They don't work properly. Google's bad search. YouTube's got fake data in it. I have escort services on Facebook that think I want a girlfriend. I'm set. I could go on and on. Amazon, it's a mess. Terrible companies now. Musk just ruined Tesla's brand. He doesn't even know it with that Cybertruck. My daughter's like, God, is that ugly? I said, "No, it's cool." He built the Lancia chassis and he reworked. Don't care. Don't want one of those. It's imprinted in the brain. Branding imprints. If you're going to be an authority, you got to be an authority. In other words, you got to know what you're doing. How did Trump learn how to do real estate development in New York? You can't make a mistake. He had one chance, and he knew it. Rhonda Barrett interviewed him in the 80s, and that's when I first noticed Trump. And I'm like, I can't stand this guy, not just because he's from New York. I can't stand him. But I didn't understand what he was doing. He's working for his family business. Me too. I worked for mom, dad, and grandma. We sold children's clothes. I'm like, I got to get out of here as fast as possible. He's like, no, I'm going to make this work for me and my dad. I don't want to get out of here. I want to get out of that business as fast as possible. What did he want to do? He wanted to win in Manhattan. He did. Those buildings are nice. He figured it out. Me too. I won. We became the number one company in our industry nationally. Children's clothing. Didn't want that, but I succeeded in it. I won. I displaced the leading manufacturer's rep in Chicago. It was a big deal back then. Like Trump, I didn't get any credit either. Everyone gave my dad all the credit except Mrs. Otis. I always wondered if she was from the Otis Elevator Company fortune because she lived in a really wealthy part of town, but I don't think she was. Maybe it was a cousin. The Archer Daniels Midland people would fly up from Decatur into Meigs Field and come and spend a day with us buying stuff. It was an easy business. Once I built it, it was hard at first, really hard. I didn't want to do it, but I did want to do it. That's the thing. Why did I tell myself it wasn't real business? I had to go to Kellogg. I had to go to Booth, or I'm reading Barron's, the Wall Street Journal. I'm trying anything to get out of this business. You don't even know you love it until you're doing it. And then I told myself it wasn't real business, and I got out. I worked my way out of all the jobs, and I built a professional distribution company using technology that I didn't like. Bill Gates built a real company, Microsoft. It's real. Look at it. Larry Ellison built Oracle, a real company. Mark Benioff built Salesforce.com, a real company. Can't stand it. We dumped it when they started overcharging us for data because they went corporate. Seen that a lot. And then I switched. Why would I stick with that? It's not for me anymore. Do you think these are good companies? Amazon, Facebook, Google? What do you think Trump's about to do? You can see an Oompa Loompa when he knows Oompa Loompas when he sees one eventually, because bad plumber's a bad plumber. Google's a disaster, terrible company. Smart people though, but they're moved on to what's next, and they want more investment money. I'm like, are you kidding me? You didn't even finish what you started. Same with Musk. PayPal's a terrible company. That's his legacy. Doesn't he care? What is he doing? He's trying to buy OpenAI because he's mad at Sam Altman because Sam Altman's smarter than he is. Who is Trump going to pick? Competence. Eventually. It may be too late though, because right now the Confederacy of Dunces is running the United States government. In the court of Donald, at some point he's going to realize these people don't know how to plumb a building. That's the same. It's an analogy. They don't know what they're doing. Their business models don't make any sense either. Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger have been saying that for years because they're right. Doesn't make any sense. A business is not, let's go get more money from investors, and then let's get more money from investors, and let's get more money from investors and sell it to another technology company. That's what Andreessen Horowitz does. That's not a business model. It's a pyramid scheme. They never finish. You got to my dad would have fired me. He was paying me $3,000 a month and sample money. What did I do? I went on the road and I got orders. I do whatever it took to get an order. And I built an infrastructure, and I kept going, and I started hiring people. I became an authority. I did it in insurance a few years ago. I sold insurance in the city of Chicago, door to door for a year. I was one of the only people in the State Farm system that sold insurance that understood the policies for business, how workers' comp works, claims made policies work. I read them because I'm like, I don't want to be terrible at this just because I'm in sales, business development, really. I succeeded. I became an authority in the industry. And I never know anything about insurance. How do you do that? You keep doing the next hard thing. You can't act like an Oompa Loompa. I'm making fun of it. Why am I making fun of Oompa Loompas? Because I think it's funny. I'm making it up. I mean, Elon Musk and the Oompa Loompas. He's in the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory phase of let's come up with a new everlasting gobstopper. And Trump's trying to run an economy. And everyone around. Elizabeth Warren, oh my God. Can we bring Elizabeth Warren into this? Or at least someone who knows what they're doing? These technology people don't understand how business works. You got to make a profit, and then you roll that profit forward. Look what we've done. They've left a trail of tears behind with this technology stuff. Apple now, it's a wreck, train wreck, and it's causing real problems. We're letting foreign powers into our ecosystem without even knowing it, because the gang can't see straight because they're incompetent. Incompetent is the difference. Competent is the opposite of incompetent. Being an apprentice is not the same as being competent and an expert and an authority in a trade of some sort, like business or whatever it is. They've got somebody running healthcare that's an expert in environmental protection. I looked at RFK's resume. I'd put him in charge of the EPA. How can he be running health and human services? He doesn't know anything about it. That's stupid. One thing about Trump is he wants to win and get, be the fifth one on Mount Rushmore or replace somebody. Do I want to be happy or do I want to be right? Let's make Trump successful so he doesn't destroy our country. It's coming. It's close. I'm not worried about it. I think he'll figure it out or he won't, but everything will be fine because I'm worried about my own. I'm not worried about anything. I'm doing my work. Always have. So I'm going to go back to what I'm talking about here now. This was the setup. What is authority? How to be an authority, not attractive character. My sewer backed up. I've talked about this already. Now I have a whole networking group I'm founding in Chicago of people who know what they're doing in the trades. I found a plumber who could look at my house and say, oh, here's what's going on. And he came in. He knows what he's doing. Oh my God. You know where he's from? You're going to love this. Trump's going to love this. Guatemala. He's from Guatemala. We have a handyman who knows what he's doing. You know where he's from? Macedonia. I have an insurance broker finally in healthcare that knows what she's doing. She knew the United Healthcare guy who got shot. She said he's a decent guy working in a stupid system with bad technology. They don't even know how to use their own technology. That's how bad it is right now. Too many buying and selling of companies in a shell game. I call it financial founder mode and technology founder mode. Those people don't understand business. None of them. It's not how it works. You got to be an authority in what you're doing. Not just investing in other people. I call that creative product appropriation. I'm not giving Facebook my good creative product, and I'm not building my company on their platform, but I'll use it. I know how ad networks work. You can have my data and my top of funnel content. Sure, that's a fair trade. Authority marketing, offer creating, and scalable product design practices evolve as we adapt again from what we learned. How do you think Trump did it? He got pounded. And then he's like, I got to win this because if I don't, in New York, you can't make a mistake. In Chicago, you can make a mistake. That's why all the smart stuff comes out of the Chicago region. Flyover countries where all the ideas are, not in these elite trust fund cities. New York now. You know who goes to New York? The top people in the people who cannot live in the small town anymore or anywhere else. Like when I was in New York a lot, what I noticed is, where are you from? Oh, I'm a New Yorker. You got to earn it. You can't just walk in and say, "I'm a New Yorker," and put an attractive character persona. They know you're not. They know you're a fake. You're a fraud. You're going home. You're not gonna make it. Same with LA. Same with DC. Same with DC. I tried in DC for a few years, and I'm like, "Thank God I didn't make it there." I went back to Chicago and made it here. In the playground, I got my life that I wanted. What's coming next into the market? Authority. Where's it coming from? Flyover country. And some of the elites, but you can't lose. So the new stuff's not going to come out of those. It could. I don't know. That's the point. I'm not an authority in all that. I'm going to predict the future with my opinion bloviating. That's what Mark Andreessen's doing. He doesn't know what he's talking about, period. He knows technology, but the technology they've created, I mean, Bill Gates beat him. He had Mosaic and then Netscape. Where'd Netscape go? Well, he sold it. But it's not a success from my perspective. It's not a long-lasting product. The building is still there, and Trump's got a great building in Chicago. The problem is it's got his name on it. Was that his fault? It was Rahm's fault. Rahm was mayor. I don't care what the rules are. Don't let him put his name on the building. He's from New York. What the hell? Still pissed off about that. People in Chicago do stupid things too. George Lucas, a billionaire. Melanie Hopkins, Chicagoan. Here, I'll write you a big check. We'll develop the lakefront. We immediately named it the Blob, the Star Wars Museum. And then the Friends of the Park group said, no. You're going to tell a billionaire to go away? Why? Stupid. The Burnham plan. We already did it. Yeah, they let Lake Point Tower. That was a mistake. There's not a whole bunch of Lake Point towers. They protected the lakefront. You already did it. Stupid. Stupid. Oh my God. He wanted to give you a museum, us, a museum. And we said, no. Oh my God. Architectural preservationists. It's good. Yeah. They weren't knocking down any great buildings. There was nothing there. It was going to be cool. Really cool. Chicago's got a lot of cool stuff, innovation. It's always been like this. It's the playground. It's great. So I love it. But they're ruining it. Who's the they? I don't know. I'm just talking. I'm not an expert. I've got a friend who's an expert in real estate, works for one of the top companies, managing a broker. And he told me, he's like, Larry, they're stupid. I believe him. It's not surprising. I've done real estate stuff in Chicago. They're stupid. It's stupid. I can imagine in New York, it's worse. Over the past few years, well, maybe it got better. Rent control is stupid. Over the past few years, as positioning, personal branding, and authority marketing replaced push strategies, what's next arrived. We're in what's next. We're past positioning, personal branding, and authority marketing because people see through it. The 13-year-old kids see through it. My daughter bought something on TikTok because she thought it was cool, and then she got it. And it's like that movie, The Christmas Story, with the Little Orphan Annie decoder ring, where the little kid Ralphie is like, it's a commercial. What the hell? I thought it was going to be something great. She realized, she's like, this is crap. I don't want it. She's figuring it out. The influencers are not real. Now, there's some people in these systems that are great. Holderness family. They're teaching people how to live in a family. We need to. You never see that in France, Italy, Latin countries. They already know how to do it. You're not going to see that in Mexico. How to live in a family. United States, we don't know how to do anything right anymore. It's ridiculous. This is not, stupid is not an immutable condition. It's fixable because there's a lot of people who aren't stupid. Support them. Let Trump win so we can do something here with this mess that these tech people are creating now. They've already created a mess. Fix the damn spell check on the iPhone before you build it. I mean, I got to do the updates now and log in again and re-authenticate. It's a mess. It doesn't play well with it. They screwed it up. Bad product. This leads to, oh wait, I forgot what I was saying. Over the past few years is positioning, personal branding, and authority marketing. Done. People are still doing it, but it's what's yesterday. Replaced push strategies. That's what I used to do. Outbound push strategies. What did I do? I was a Marine. I ran around the neighborhood, whatever the neighborhood was, the cold call neighborhood, the corporate office neighborhood, the private party crashing neighborhood. I joined everything. Why? To get clients. Push strategies. And then all of a sudden there's content. I'm like, oh, I'm going to use this too. Personal branding, positioning. I read Trout Reese in the 90s and I like smart. Yeah, smart. Personal branding. Yeah, I saw that too back then. Done. What's next arrived? What is this? What arrived? Local family matters first strategies. That's what everybody wants. Think global. Be online. Be in the global party online. It's great. There's a lot here. Just don't build your company on one of these influencer platforms owned by a technology company. It's not your product, it's theirs. You're giving them your intellectual property for free and your data and building their audience and activity and engagement for them. That's stupid. Bring customers out of there into your platform on Substack or Welo. We're using Welo. I'm doing this stuff. I'm not just talking. These people are just talking. Zuckerberg, and they just talk. They don't know what they're doing. I'm doing the work to get what I want. This leads to, and I want to connect people. I want to be part of it now. I don't want to work myself out of another job. I've done that my whole life. I don't want to be disconnected from my market anymore, chasing after people, trying to get them to do what I want. It's stupid. I don't want to play Game of Thrones like they're playing. No, thank you. And I don't have to. I live in a great place. I don't have to. I can do local. I didn't want to do local. I lived in Paris. I didn't get there because of my family connections. I just went. Um, Engaging, if wanted, on the local or global online stages. Yeah, and create unique products. Where does it come from? What you want to do and what you're an expert in, where your interests are, where your passion is. It's not that complicated. It's hard, but it's simple. Best product wins from authority. Know what you're doing, and it will work. Might take a while. Displacing them. I've been at this for 5 years. And I started when I was 7, when I ran away from home. It's a joke, but true. Displacing those who became authority using older marketing approaches such as social influence. Does anybody want to follow that stuff? They still do. That's why Trump does it. He knows how to manipulate that world. I watched him do it. That's why I didn't like him way back. I still don't like him, but he's going to win and he's going to take us down. And he's, if he does that, his legacy will be tarnished. History will only remember he let Elon and the Oompa Loompas and Zuck and Andreessen Horowitz and and Bezos and all these people. You got to listen to, Larry Ellison is not my favorite, but at least he has a real company and knows what he's doing. Larry Ellison's story is great. I don't know about this other guy from OpenAI, Sam Altman, but he's a player. He knows how to operate at court. That's a skill. If I were Trump, I'd be talking to Obama behind the scenes. I don't know if he's there yet. That would be smart. We'll see. It remains to be seen what he's going to do. Is he going to wake up and get smart like he did in New York, or is he going to do stupid and let stupid run around? He's playing them right now. And then he's going to pull the trigger. This guy used Roy Cohn, a vampire fixer in New York, to get what he wanted. You think I wouldn't want to be in that court and make a mistake. Watch it, boys. They're boys. They're playing. He's not playing. He's not playing. This is the big boy game. Women don't do this. They're smarter than that. That's not true either. A lot of women play these games. But in general, they see through it fast. What are we going to do? He won. Let's help him not screw it up. See through stupid. Act local. Be smart. Connect with people. Create your market. Create offers that are of high quality and create high quality products that actually deliver. That's what I'm doing. Am I doing it or did I do it? I did it. I'm not doing it. We're going to do our soft launch party in February. I did it. This was hard what I did. Nobody's done what I did yet. Nobody. They think they have. What does that mean? Am I competing? No, there's lots of people who are doing the things I'm doing. I did my version of it because it's real, because I know what I'm doing. That's it. I can't finish. Same with Elon. He can't finish a product. I can't either. So I enlisted a lot of people. Did I take money? No. I'm doing this for a few grand a month. I'm building an infrastructure for a $30 million company for a couple grand a month. And it's new. It's a new approach on a video metaverse platform integrated with all these other technology systems with a core founding group of what's going to be 12 times 12. I can't do the math in my head. 36 people that I'm not paying because I'm helping them make money on the platform. I'm not taking all the money. We're going to split it. I got deals worked out everywhere. That's how you do it. You do it by not being stupid. And the local strategy was key for me. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to network locally anymore. I did it for years, but I realized I don't have to network anymore. I know people. I just have to reconnect with them and say, "What do you want?" And they'll tell me, and I'll say, "Well, I can help you get that." Okay, that's it. I don't need Google. Um, let's rethink the authority, offer, and product formulas. Look at these people who are teaching this stuff. They're works in progress. They're learning. Alex Hormozy and Layla Hormozy, they're learning. I listen to them. I'm like, you don't know what you're talking about yet. You made a lot of money though, but that doesn't mean you know what you're talking about. Find your own way through the authority marketing traps. You know what the trap is? Ego thinking. I don't even like the word ego. What it means is believing my own bullshit. Have I done that in my life? Every day. I've become aware of it. That's helpful. And avoid building core structures on social media platforms that what? They own our names and data. If you're successful on any of these places, you don't own your company. So you better think hard about that and start doing something about it. And I'm not waiting for Trump to figure this stuff out. And definitely not this gang that can't see straight that's playing the Game of Thrones around the throne. And David Hawkins taught me something about this. If you want to understand this, read Power versus Force. It's one angle. And he said something really smart. He said, don't get in a cage with a Komodo dragon. You'll get killed. What's a Komodo dragon?